Good morning and welcome to episode 16 of the Blue Fern Yarns podcast. My name's Shannon and I'm coming to you from Norwich in Norfolk in the UK, and I am the face behind Blue Fern Yarns. You can find me on most social media, Instagram, Ravelry and Facebook as Blue Fern Yarns. And you can also find me at my own website, which is bluefernyarns.co.uk, where I sell my hand-dyed yarn, hire knitting needles and crochet hooks, stitch markers, progress keepers, and a few other bits and bobs on there. Yeah, I haven't really got a plan today. I normally have like a list and could try and work my way down that, but I haven't done that this time. I haven't recorded in a little while, so I'm trying to get this episode done before Tom and I go out for lunch. We're going to the Wibberton Bell for a Sunday lunch, which is going to be great. So yes, today is Sunday the 23rd of May. So it's been a little while since I've recorded, and I've got quite a bit to show you. So yeah, we'll jump straight in. I've got a few works in progress. I've got some finished objects. I've got some acquisitions, and yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know. We'll wing it and see what happens. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is my latest pattern which has been released, which is my Sandy Ripple sock. And it is just here, and it was released on Wednesday the 19th of May, and I'd like to say thank you. This is what it is, a little bit close up, you can see a bit more of the pattern, and it's the Sandy Ripple sock. So thank you so much for everyone who has already purchased their copy. It's done really well, and I'm so pleased that you're all enjoying it, and I've had some lovely feedback already from not only my test knitters, but a couple of other people who've already purchased that and already cast on the sock, which is amazing. I dyed this colour, so this colour is actually colour I dyed up specifically for the sock. Yeah, and I have got another version which is a shorty. I have got the other one down here as well. So this is a shorty. This was, so sorry, I'm going to jump back a little bit because I feel a bit like, woo. So when designing patterns, I had this idea in my mind and I really wanted to use these two yarns together, and I absolutely love them. Again, they're my own. So this is Iridescent and this is Caribbean Seas, and I think you can just about see it a bit better there with the colour. Or up close actually, that's quite a good reflection. But what I found was I felt that the pattern was getting quite lost in the textured yarn, in the speckled yarn. So what I did is I thought, right, Sandy Ripple, I'm going to dye up a tonal sandy kind of colour, and that's what I did, and that's what I got. So I do have obviously the other pairs there, the others to the pair. And yeah, so it took me a little while to get these ones done because I just fell out of love with the yarn. Well, I love the yarn still, and I'm still going to use this yarn, the pair of yarn, for something else. But yeah, that's the pattern. So the pattern does come with a shorty version, as you can see, and a long version, or a standard sock version, and it comes in sizes stitch count. I've completely forgotten. No, it's 56, 60, 64 and 72 sort of sizes. Yeah, so there's quite a wider amount that you can obviously get that in. If, yeah, so if you want to grab yourself a copy, please do. There is a discount code on there at the moment, which is supposed to end on Monday the 24th of May. However, if you look in the description bar below, I am going to have another discount code, just run a little bit longer for you guys who do follow me on YouTube. Yeah, thank you so much for all the love that it's had so far. But look below and you'll see another discount code, especially for you if you don't quite hit the Monday one. Okay, so on to another pair of socks. So this is actually my season 2 yarn from the Dotty wool company, who does self-striping yarn, and just look how gorgeous they are. Just absolutely love this. So Ruth from the Dotty wool company is doing like a friend's seasonal self-striping yarn, and this is season 2 and it's called You're My Lobster. Yeah, and I just absolutely love it. So yeah, I can't wait, and I can't wait to have like the whole collection. So I obviously did season 1 a little while ago, and this is season 2. And yeah, it's just a simple vanilla sock. I didn't follow a pattern. It's just 1x1 twisted rib, just there, and just an afterthought heel, which I am actually quite pleased with how I matched that up. Yeah, I think I showed you on the last one that I didn't quite work it out properly, so it kind of went down in the pattern and then back up, whereas this one follows it all the way down like it does here, and it's just this bit that you don't really see because it's under your foot anyway. But yeah, so I'm really pleased with that, and they both match. Look. I absolutely love these, and now that I've shown you, I can get to wear them. So I've been wanting to wear these for a little while, but yeah, as with all of my makes, I don't wear it until I've shown you guys. But you know, that is what it is. So you can probably tell I've got another pair of socks done, and because I haven't been on here for a little while, I just I've been knitting socks and socks, but wait until you get to my whips, there is something different. So here is another sock that I've done. It's just a shorty sock. It's actually a gift from my mum. I have got a pair. So as I think some of you who have followed me for a little while know that we've been going through a bit of a tough time, like family wise, with my granddad going in hospital and things like that. He my whole family found it quite difficult to concentrate on projects and things like that, because we all basically knit. So my mum knits, my aunt knits, my nan does a bit of knitting and a bit of crochet. Yeah, so we just all found it quite difficult to do projects and things. So with this is actually one of my yarns called Dragon Fruit. And what I did is I gave a skein to my mum. She knitted a sock tube, so I've got a rather large sock tube left, which is going to be sitting on my shelf until I decide what I want to do with it. Obviously it's going to be another pair of socks, but yeah, so that's that. So my mum just literally sat there. I think she cast on with just some scrap yarn, which you can just see just there, and she just literally knit in the tube, round and round with DPNs until she finished the skein, which was 100 grams. So she'd get 2 pairs of socks out of that. So this is actually a pair for my mum. She likes them quite sort of short in the ankle, so that's what I've done. I've only done a little bit of ribbing, and this is also my own hand-dyed yarn, the heel, cuff and toe, called Cookies and Cream, which is a colourway that is coming back to my shop on my next update. But yes, so yeah, and I really love how they look. I just think they are brilliant. What do you guys think? Do you guys even use sock tubes? Have you used them before? What have you found with them? This is my second pair from a tube, and obviously that will probably be my third pair. I quite like it. It's a totally different process for making socks. So rather than, because I do mine top down anyway, so rather than knitting the cuff and then going all the way down, and I either do the heel, flap and gusset, which is sort of there that you can sort of see, or I do the afterthought heel, and then just knit down to the toe, and you know, it's a totally different process because obviously you've got to cut the tube, and yeah, I feel fine with cutting them out, but the first time I did it, honestly, I was like shaking so badly and I had to keep taking breaks because I just kept missing the stitch when I was trying to put my needles back through. It's just on some scrap yarn at the moment, just held there so I don't lose it all. But yeah, what are your thoughts with knitting, well, making socks from a sock tube? Do you have any thoughts? You might not, I don't know. And I promise you, this is my final finished object. It is surprisingly another pair of socks. And yeah, so this is a design that I have sort of come up with. I am going to release the pattern and it will be a free one. I haven't even thought about writing it up yet, other than the idea that I will be. So these are my newest socks. So you can see the colours really well there, and I will go on about the yarn and the colours in a minute. But this is just it's almost a vanilla sock, but you've got this really lovely, I'll show you here in the darker bit because you can see it a bit better. You've got this lovely slip stitch detail, which just sort of jogs the edges for the colours, and I just think it looks really, really lovely. Like I said, I am going to be writing up the pattern. I don't know when I'm going to be releasing it, hopefully in June at some point, and it will be a free pattern because I think there's quite a few sort of colour block socks out there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is what it is. It's just got a 1x1 twisted rib, which I am very much loving at the moment, and it's just got an afterthought heel. I think in the pattern that I will write out the sort of heel flap and gusset again, that's this heel on the pattern, but explain that I use the afterthought method because then you can get it exactly where you need to. The only thing is with it is if you're doing an afterthought heel is you've got to stay away from like the bottom 2 rows is what I would suggest, or the top 2 rows of the colour changes, just because of that slip stitch detail you might lose it. Yeah, you might lose the stitches. I don't mean lose it altogether, I mean I do all the time, but anyway, you might just lose some of the stitches. So yeah, so that's sort of a new pattern that will be coming when I get to writing out the pattern. I just haven't done it yet. Things have been a bit hectic and work has been a bit tough, and yeah, we're not here for work. I don't want to talk about the day job. Somebody asked me fairly recently, why do I not talk more about my day job on here? So those of you that don't know, I've recently been promoted to assistant surveyor at a property management company. And yeah, I'm not really here to talk about what I do day job wise. I'm here to talk about all my knitting and my makes, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. Yeah, and everything yarn. I love yarn. Anyway, so this will be coming. The pattern is actually designed for that lovely set of 5 10-gram mini skeins that you get, because I know we all buy them. They are beautiful. A little set of 5 10-gram minis, so that's like 50 grams of yarn, and you can get 2 socks, and you can obviously get a few leftovers, which are great for a Knotball Blanket, which again is my pattern if you want to go and have a look. It's a free one. Yeah, so the colours on this one is at the beginning of May, I did a bit of a collaboration with Norah George Yarns, so Tracy from Norah George Yarns, and it was called It's Just a Coincidence. And what that is, it's to sort of support and show support for various different yarn dyers and things like that, because quite often as a yarn dyer we get criticism about copying other dyers and yeah, we get some nasty comments really. I mean, I have, and I haven't been doing it, I say I haven't been doing it for that long, I've been doing it for about 1.5 years, but like we get some nasty comments. So what we did, or what Tracy did, is she put a post up on her stories and said looking for yarn dyers to do a bit of a collaboration, just an idea, see how it goes. And I was very lucky enough to join in on this, and I picked pink. So what you did is you just picked a main colour group. So pink, purple, blue, green, orange. That's it. You picked a main colour group and you dyed up 5 10-gram mini skeins to go with that. And I dyed up quite a few sets, sent them over to Tracy, and she sold them on her website. But what she did is she also dyed up 5 10-gram mini skeins. So these are my ones, and I have got a set here. Just hold them sort of the right way around. So I have got a set here, which is what they look like in the skein, and I just absolutely love them. It's a bit weird, my light's coming from over there, but I really need to get a light behind the camera, I think. But there's about the true colour, and obviously this is how they knit up in them. So I really wanted a pattern that would show off just 5 10-gram minis, and this is why I created the sock pattern. So yay! But yeah, so these are my ones, and these ones are Tracy's, which are just beautiful. So we didn't know the colours that each other was doing until I got my little mini set from Tracy in the post, and she got all of mine, and I obviously gave her an extra set as well. And she's very recently, I believe, posted on Instagram what they look like when they're crocheted. So head on over to Norah George Yarns on Instagram and you can see what these ones look like when they're crocheted. And yeah, I just think they're absolutely beautiful. So these ones are Tracy's. Let's see if I can stand up. There we go. Those ones are Tracy's, and those ones are mine. So in fact, I'm going to show you my ones on the sock because it's a little bit easier to hold a sock and some yarns than lots of yarn. So you can see that we've kind of almost done a similar thing. So we've got a semi-solid. Hers is a little bit darker than mine. We've got like a darker speckle one. We've got a lighter speckle one. And you can see that actually we've done fairly similar style of colours. But like I said, we didn't know what we were doing. Well, we knew what we were doing. We didn't know what each other was going to come up with. And I think I'm going to make another pair of socks out of these because obviously, as you can see, I'm totally addicted to socks at the moment. But as you can see, 2 dyers coming up with 5 colours in the colourway pink, but we didn't talk about colours or anything, and you can see that we've kind of done similar things. And yeah, that's quite, it's interesting, it's really cool. I mean, I could have dyed up thousands of different styles of pink, because you could have gone into like the coral pinks. I literally stuck with pink and nothing else. And you can see like a couple of different tones and things like that. And you can see that Tracy's done that, but she does have a like a corally one in there, which is just gorgeous. But like I'm rambling now, but you could have gone on with so many different styles and colours of pink. Yeah, and I definitely recommend following Tracy to see the new colours that come out over the next coming months. Don't know what I'm going to do with mine, and I am interested to see what the other dyers do and see if I will maybe purchase the whole set, like the whole series. I think it's quite a cool idea. Maybe make a Knotball Blanket, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so they are all my finished objects, as you can see. All socks, all sock related. So whips, other than the sock tube that I showed you earlier, I'm not going to get it because it's all underneath all the other socks now. So yeah, other things that I've been working on. So whips, this is the It's covered in Bennett hair because he keeps laying on it. I keep trying to get it off, but anyway. So this is the project bag from Fibre Fox, which her mum makes all of these, and I have a couple of these and I absolutely love them. And obviously penguins. Anyway, I showed you this one before. Oh, I just thought actually. So for the socks that I've designed for these ones, I can actually show you. I split the balls up into 5 grams each because I wanted to make sure that this sock pattern worked, and it will work up to a 72 stitch for the 5 10 gram minis plus a 20 gram like neutral or undyed kind of colour. And this is what I've got left. So you can see there's quite a bit. They're all individual scraps, but some of them are quite way all over the place. Some of them, like this one's quite a big chunk, so there's still a couple of grams there. You could do if you're doing northeasterly blankets, or there's another one, cozy memories blankets or something like that. These would be ideal for them, and you wouldn't have to. The way I'm going to write up the pattern means that you don't have to separate 10 gram minis, because that was a bit of a faff to do, but with the designing process I want to make sure that I had enough. But anyway, so yeah, you do end up with a few scraps. Yeah. Anyway, so you probably guessed what this is because it's pink, but do you remember me showing you a large cake in various pinks, and you can see some of the different colours that are in there? So this is another Knotball Blanket, which I think is perfect for scraps. It is a pattern that I've designed, and it is free on both Ravelry and my website. And it is perfect because it uses up all those scraps. Yeah, and this is sort of where I've got to with it. So I think when I showed you last time, I had got up to where this progress keeper is. So I'm going to move this progress keeper every time I work on this and after I've shown you guys. But yeah, it's just a corner to corner blanket. And as you can see, just changes colour. There's no ends to sew in other than the starting one and the end one when I get there. Yeah, and I do also have a little tutorial on how to make your knot ball. The only thing is I need to say is definitely make sure your knots are secure. So when you work through the knot ball, just check before you change colour, because you don't want it to come undone in the middle of the row, because that's quite difficult to fix back, because I had to rip back a couple of times. I say a couple of times, only once, but yeah, I had to rip back once. But anyway, so this is as far as I've got. I'm probably not going to show you this every week, or every other week whenever I work on it. Just thought it would be quite nice to show you. This one here, I think that one is Mr. B. I think it's part of his Easter egg mini collection that I bought, it's Bird Street Yarns, sorry, Bird Street Yarns now, because they have changed. But I bought it when it was Mr. B, so yeah, so it's part of the Easter egg collection. You've got some of these gorgeous ones in here. So this one's my concrete colour. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. I'm now on the top of the list for the vaccine, so I guess I'll get that booked in soon. Yay! Sorry. And then you've got some other tonal pinks in there. This one is gorgeous with all the pinks and the purples. I don't know what that one is. I think I got that as a little mini swap from my mum. I don't remember using that on anything, and I don't think I have, so it must have been a scrap that I got from my mum. But it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I like it. Anyway, so yeah, that's as far as I've got with that one. And I have one more whip, which I have been quite monogamously working on recently. So it is in my party animal project bag, so you can see it's quite a large one. The yarn that I'm using is, I'll just show you the black one, but anyway, so the yarn that I'm using is the Drops Baby Merino. This one's black. It's a sort of fade in various greys, because I do wear a lot of grey, as you can see, but my socks can always be bright, so that is fine. So this one is, I always forget what it is. So it's 100% merino, and it says 4 ply. Does it say 4 ply? It says yarn group A, 3mm needle. It's a 4 ply, but it's like actually I think it's more of a sport weight, because it's a little bit thicker than 4 ply. So I don't know if you can just about see that. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's the yarn that I'm using, and I've got quite a few skeins in here, and I am making the So Faded. Sorry, I completely disappeared from the screen. I am making the So Faded. Now let's see if I've got a bigger picture. No, I haven't. I've only printed it out in black and white. Which we're trying to show because it's just a stitch and how you do them. But it's this one, which you may probably have seen. So it's the So Faded sweater, or So Faded top almost, by Andrea Mowry. And yes, let's show you where I've got to. So I cast this on, I think it was probably a week ago this evening. Yeah, I think it was a week ago, and I've got very far with it. So this is how far I've got with it. Like I said, I've been quite monogamously working on it because I'm really, really enjoying it. So I've done a bit of the fade says, can I tell you if it's a paper pattern? So the fade is literally just stripes. And if you've got yarn that works really, really well together in a fade, then that would probably work a bit better than what I've got, because mine's just semi-solid. And what I'm doing is I'm making it up in this yarn because it's slightly cheaper. Well, it is cheaper. It's a commercial yarn, it is cheaper, but it's still lovely. So, and I just absolutely love this. There is no provisional cast on, which I'm not a fan of. I've tried it a couple of times and I just don't like it. So there's no provisional cast on. You cast on and you knit back and forth, and then you join in the round, and then you'll pick up the stitches to add the collar on. And I've split for sleeves, and I actually did loads yesterday. I had the day off because obviously it's Saturday, and I actually did that much yesterday, which I was actually quite shocked about. Apparently I knit more than I think I do. It's only whenever I see it on my videos or anything like that. But yeah, it should, hopefully, if it fits really nicely, I'm going to probably make a lot of these in various different colours. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I have got, so I bought 8 skeins of these. So I've got 2 in black, so this is going to be obviously the bottom colour. I've got 2 in this charcoal, 2 in this mid grey, and 2 in this light grey. And what I did is I did the whole ball of the light grey, and then I used the next ball until I did the fade. Then I've used the whole ball for this one, and then used like a couple of rows, and then did the little bit of striping fade. And I will keep doing that until I get down to, hopefully, it will be about here. I don't know how much longer it's going to be. But yeah, I'm going to do the exact same thing. And when I get to the bottom, that's going to be it. And yeah, and then hopefully I have got enough left for each one to do the same sort of stripe for the sleeves. But yay, another garment. I got a bit bored of, I love socks, don't get me wrong, I do love socks, and I love that my little sock drawer is growing rapidly. I worked out, I've done, is it 13 or 14? I now can't remember. 13 or 14 pairs of socks in 13 weeks. I think it's 14 because it's just over 1 pair a week, so yes. And they're all, since I've started knitting socks, so 13 weeks ago, I've done 14 pairs of socks. Anyway, so back to garments. But yeah, and I just want to show you this actual, so you've got this raglan, it's a raglan style top, and I just love how neat this looks. I don't know, you can see that really well. But yeah, I just absolutely love that. And actually, holding it up, I do kind of like the stripes. It's quite a, it's a nice, it's a different top, isn't it? It's different. But anyway, that's just me. I love it. So yeah, that's what I've been sort of working on recently. And I think I've nailed my make one left and make one right. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't believe I've nailed it now. I think I've done them so many times on that one. But I finally nailed it, because I don't know about you, but I'm constantly looking at the little stitch guide, which is just sort of here, and going, right, make one left. That is, pick up the bar, front to back, make one right, back to front. And it's just like, I constantly get it wrong, and I knit in the wrong loop, so I have to tick back and do it again, and then carry on again. So anyway, so I'm just going to talk about a few acquisitions, and I've started doing a lot more again. I will try and stop it. So yes, I have got a few acquisitions. So obviously I've got my little Norah George pink minis, and I've got this gorgeous one. So this is from the Yarn Badger, which is a hand-dyed yarn, and it's Superwash BFL 20% bamboo. So I'm not a huge, or historically I'm not a huge fan of BFL, because I think I've just got ones that were really, really rough and just not very nice. So that's sort of the logo for Yarn Badger. But yeah, so, and I got this in a Destash and it was fairly cheap, so I thought, do you know what, I'm going to try it. And it's self-striping, so always a bonus. And I haven't used the Yarn Badger yarn before, so quite a few positives there, I think. And it is called Pumpkin Patch. Just look at those gorgeous tonals. And it is lovely. It's like, you can proper squidge it. It's lovely. And it's 400 meters per 100 grams, and this is 100 grams here. So I have got a plan for this. These are going to become a pair of socks in my gift box for a specific person. I know who. Yeah, so it's just lovely. It's gorgeous. Can't wait to use that one. And it's weird. So normally I say normally, previously when I've got self-striping, it's just come in I think they're called gumballs, where it's just wrapped around and you just see the colour stripe, and then it's changed to a colour so the stripe goes in a different direction. So I've never seen I have seen them, but never realised that they were self-striping. But when self-striping's in a skein like that, how different it looks, and I don't know how the socks are going to turn out. Because like with the gumball, I kind of knew that these were the colours, and I didn't know that was the exact sort of stripe pattern until I started knitting, but I could see those colours. But yeah, so I don't know how that's going to turn out quite yet. That's just obviously holding it sort of together. But yeah, it's gorgeous. Anyway, that's number one. Number two, so I've got a couple here from Castleview Yarns. I was looking, so I've seen this natural yak sock, and I just love that colour. Just absolutely love it. And it is going to be a base that I'm going to look to introduce in my shop for autumn, because I think that will create some gorgeous colours. So it's yak sock, so it's 70% Superwash Merino, 20% yak and 10% nylon. So this is natural, that's the base colour. So like when you get an undyed, it's usually sort of this creamy whitey colour. So that's an undyed, but this is an undyed yak. And I looked around quite a few places and I just wanted a skein just to squidge it. So normally I would wait until a yarn show so I could go to that and see if anyone's got some and squidge it there. But because there haven't been any yarn shows, I managed to find this one on Castleview Yarns, and that's her logo. I think her name's Jen. And yeah, so I treated myself to a skein of that, which is just gorgeous. I think I want a jumper or something in that. I don't think you can get this on DK. There are different yak ones on DK, so I may be looking at some of those as well to introduce it in autumn as well. So you'll have DK option and a 4-ply option, but that is just gorgeous. And it is a sock yarn, so it's got the nylon in there, so that should be fine for any of you who are also sock makers. But obviously, as I was on her website, I couldn't not look at the other stuff. So here is it's another sock yarn. Yeah, 75% Superwash Merino, 25% Nylon, 425 meters per 100 grams, which is called Gleam and Glow. And just look how gorgeous that is. Oh, and just those speckles. I love a speckle. As you can probably tell if you go on my shop, there is a lot of stuff with speckles in it. But yeah, just these. Oh, I love it. So yes, I don't know what this is gonna sort of grow up and be, and I'm blurry. Why is my camera not? Yeah, so I don't know what this is going to become. I just loved it and I wanted it, so I got those two. In fact, they both work quite well together, I think. And the texture isn't so vastly different that you couldn't get away with it in the same garment or shawl or something. I don't know. Anyway, so those are there. And my last one, so I didn't actually buy this. This was a gift from my lovely mother. Hi, Mum. She's been pestering me to do a podcast for a little while because I've had a bit of a gap in between. But yes, so this was a lovely gift. She bought it for, she bought this and a few other skeins in the same colourway for a top, and I can't remember the name of it, but it is absolutely stunning. I want to say garden something sweater. I'll put it on the screen. I'll put the name of it on the screen if I can find out. Yes, so it's Reverend Blue Jeans. It's got the old Mr. B logo, but it is now Bird Street Yarns. And yeah, I've got 2 skeins of this. She's got more scraps where she's got another skein and a couple of other little balls that are left. And the plan is to make a top or a sort of short sleeve sweater type thing. I haven't quite figured out which pattern I'm going to use. If you've got any ideas, please put them in the comments below, because I'm desperately looking for some lovely top style patterns. I haven't found any that I really love at the moment other than that So Faded. But yes, please do put comments in. And yeah, so this is on their Hiddleston 4-ply base, which is 75% Superwash Merino, 25% Nylon, 425 meters per 100 grams. So yeah, so I've got a couple more balls, one of 100 grams and then one of something, like a couple of other smaller ones. Just look at those gorgeous tones and just, oh, love it. So yeah, thank you, Mum. Yeah, so I've got those. And I think that is it. So that is all my acquisitions, honestly. I didn't spend that much money. It has been a little while. I have been doing quite a bit behind the scenes. I've been a little bit quiet on social media this weekend, mostly just because I needed a bit of a break. But yeah, hopefully I will be coming back. I have got a bit of news. I am taking part in the Yarn Craft Festival, which is happening over the weekend of the 12th and 13th of June. And I do hope that you will come and join me and all the lovely other people who are taking part. I have got a few new things coming. I've got a couple of old colourways coming back again, and the shop is going to be very, very stocked up, but there will also be the dye to order. So as you know, I'm quite a small business. I don't have enough room in my house to have every colourway in every yarn base that I offer, which is a shame because I do love it all and I wish I could. But yeah, so hopefully you will be able to find what you want. If not, please do get in touch, and any time really. Even if the dye to order listing is not up, get in touch. I'm happy to have a conversation with you, find out what it is that you're after, if you want a unique colour, or if you want any of the colours that I do offer but on a DK weight or any other weight of yarn, or a different base or anything like that. Happy to have a conversation and talk it through. And yes, and I've got a little bit of a surprise. I have reached over 200 followers or subscribers on YouTube, and I would like to say a massive thank you. I really do appreciate you guys following me and subscribing to my little channel and seeing all my little knits and basically joining me on this journey. Yeah, so thank you so much. It really does mean the world to me. And again, thank you for those that have purchased my pattern. I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how exciting it is to hear that little ping of an email saying someone's bought your pattern. It's so lovely and it's so rewarding, and there is a lot of work that goes into designing a pattern, and it just feels like it is so worth it when just someone either likes your pattern or saves it for later or buys a copy of the pattern, or even when you see them actually make your pattern in the various colours that they do, and it is just so rewarding, and I just want to say thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully see you sometime soon. Take care. Bye.